Hello, my name is James Urbati, and I'm the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Commerce Practices here at Pivotree. Today, I'm going to share with you some of my thoughts on the upcoming holiday season and give some predictions for this year's Cyber5. What began as a one-day online shopping holiday, Cyber Monday, has now grown into a 5-day retail marathon known as the Cyber5. Cyber5 starts on US Thanksgiving Day, runs through Black Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and finishes on the busiest day of the year for e-commerce on Cyber Monday. Cyber5 growth has been accelerated by recent global pandemic, and the pandemic has thrown some curveballs at the supply chain as well, which makes looking ahead very interesting. So here's my countdown of the top 5 predictions for this year's Cyber5, starting with number 5. Mobile traffic will continue to grow. 39% of Cyber5 purchases were made via mobile device in 2020. Mobile commerce represents the fastest growing e-commerce channel, and we expect mobile revenue to increase roughly 18% annually again this year. Mobile is the fastest growing channel, and click and collect is one of the fastest growing components of this channel, surging over 100% in 2020 and expected to grow another 15% this year. During a holiday season with shoppers anxious about the timely delivery of online orders, expect a huge shift from click and collect transactions, especially in the final week before Christmas. Even if it isn't just click and collect, you can't have a great buy online, pick up in store journey without making the mobile experience great. They're intertwined. Although almost all enterprise retailers have a mobile-ready website, most mobile commerce is still conducted through mobile-specific applications. Mobile apps provide an ever-present brand logo on users' smartphone screens, and once downloaded and used, the data suggests they'll keep using it if it meets their expectations. In a flash survey done by eMarketer, more than half of those surveyed had an Amazon app installed on their phone. Nearly 30% had the Walmart app, and more than 20% had the Target app. Equally important to what apps they had on their phone was whether they intended to use them. All of the top 10 apps had at least half of consumers expecting to use that app to buy this holiday. With 85% of folks expecting to buy gifts through the Amazon app, some retailers had even higher numbers, like 95% of respondents that had the Macy's app who plan to buy using that. So this year, I predict mobile will grow, mostly through retailers with great apps for iPhone and Android devices. And I think it's safe to assume we see mobile transactions jump from 39% of commerce transactions in 2020 to maybe as high as 45% of holiday transactions in 2021. And if I look further ahead, I see mobile having a real chance of displacing desktop as the top channel for online holiday purchases in 2022. Prediction number 4, consumers will continue to seek and reward marketplaces. In the United States, 92% of online consumers shopped in a marketplace last year, and marketplaces made up nearly 30% of the GMV of the top 100 e-commerce players. There are many approaches to executing a marketplace. Amazon, Walmart, and Target offer an everything under the sun approach, a truly endless aisle feel and a first stop for buyers of all types. Others, like Poshmark, focus exclusively on creating a secondhand apparel destination. eBay straddles the two approaches as a destination for both new and used products, while Etsy solidified their marketplace in the handmade small business space and grew dramatically during the pandemic. In addition to marketplace-only players, many retailers are differentiating themselves by enabling carefully selected third-party merchants to sell partner products on marketplaces they create themselves. Macy's just announced their plan to do just that by bringing curated third-party merchandise to both the Macy's.com and the Bloomingdale's.com properties. The marketplace format has already rapidly expanded beyond just a traditional retailer. Marketplace concepts that offer frictionless convenience and choice have won over users in grocery with players like Instacart, in the restaurant delivery marketplace like DoorDash and Grubhub, and in vacation rental marketplaces like Airbnb and VRBO. Prediction number 3, loyalty will be tested. Friction and choice will either keep or drive customers away in 2021. If customers can't get what they want at the price they want, how and when they want it, they're more likely than ever to discard brand loyalty. Things like supply chain issues, changes in buying habits, and being stuck at home drove disloyalty and forced consumers to look at alternatives in the past 2 years. This was a global phenomenon, but was most pronounced in the US market. In a McKinsey survey from last year, 75% of US shoppers acknowledged they strayed away from favorite brands to competitors for better priced alternatives. Many also acknowledged that they found alternatives when their brand of choice was unavailable or inconvenient to get. Even more concerning was that between 70 and 80% of those consumers that changed products, services, or behaviors intended to continue with their new choice. Conversions are important, but in 2021, retention may be even more critical. Prediction number 2, 2021 will be a record year. In fact, I predict almost every part of the Cyber5 will break records, with one notable exception. 26% of all retail sales for those 5 days is expected to come from online transactions. Most experts are predicting growth of between 4 and 7%, and I personally think we'll be on the high end of that. Here in my background are some of the projections that Digital Commerce 360 made for US online sales. Projections here are expecting a growth of 5.9% over last year. Cyber Monday will be record-setting, with over $11 billion in online sales expected to be completed on that one day alone. That's $1 billion more than we did in 2020. I would also be surprised, would not be surprised if we saw significant sales on Thanksgiving Day as well, with many major brick and mortar retailers closed and the ease of mobile shopping on the rise. In a poll of 1,000 holiday shoppers, more than 50% expected to shop online, both Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I think it's likely that Cyber5 will be record-breaking on many fronts, with one notable exception, and that exception is, I don't think Black Friday will top last year's numbers. Due to a variety of factors, I don't think it can beat last year, where online sales in 2020 surged 21% on Black Friday compared to 2019. I think the return to brick and mortar shopping and retailers continue marketing campaigns that spread sales over the entire holiday period. I think those two things by themselves will pull back enough revenue from last year's number that it won't make a record this year. And my number one prediction, broken supply chain will ensure that this holiday season will not be frictionless. The supply chain is still so broken. In August 2021, KPMG surveyed more than 100 retail executives, decision makers at the vice president level or above, at companies that had over $500 million in annual revenues. And they asked them about their expectations for the 2021 holiday season. The anticipated revenue was expected to be about 35% of the surveyed company's total annual sales, with retailers expecting strong sales during the seasonal period when they compared it to 2020. They expected sales growth climbing about 7% year over year. And when they talked to them, 82% of those executives surveyed acknowledged that they were either somewhat or very concerned about inventory shortages. So this holiday is going to be messy. And the pandemic has had a massive impact on the delicate global supply chain from multiple angles. The pandemic shut down factories and material suppliers, which put manufacturing for many industries behind in a world where we live in a just-in-time delivery schedule. It forced some workers to reevaluate where and how they work, and not everyone in the labor pool pre-pandemic returned to the labor pool when things opened back up. Labor shortages created delays in materials caused delays in components, and those were met with a sudden increase in demand for many products. Manufacturing delays, plus an increase in demand, plus labor shortages affected global shipping, increasing costs and time to move products. And when they arrived late at their destinations, increased demand and fewer workers just kept adding to that problem. Even if the products were made in geography, domestic trucking is impacted by all these same issues. And these delays in receiving product, or not enough of it, were only the beginning of the problem. Consumer response when they find they can't get the gift they want, or the gift they want is out of stock or back ordered or flat or unavailable, are just going to make this worse. Assuming customers can buy what they need, postal services, UPS, and FedEx are already predicting millions more packages than they have the capacity to deliver. So things like buy now and pay later are trending today, and they're important for sure. But buy now, receive later may be a more important message some retailers are going to need to sell to their customers. To get through this holiday, retailers must stay on top of their business data. They need to understand their inventory. They need to make sure they're promoting what they have in stock, and they need to be honest and communicative with customers about likely delivery times and delays. And for some retailers that have planned ahead and invested in a unified commerce experience and are able to take advantage of brick and mortar assets, could have a huge advantage. It will be a massive differentiator, for example, for retailers that can provide a frictionless BOPIS experience, especially as logistics partners like FedEx, UPS, and others struggle to meet expectations that were all set pre-pandemic. So, my 5 predictions for Cyber5 2021. Continued supply chain issues will make this holiday messy and unfortunately full of friction for customers. Prediction number 2, 2021 will set new records in volume, adoption, and a variety of online commerce metrics. Number 3, loyalty will be tested this year and will be more important than ever for retailers to do all they can to meet customer expectations, while they'll risk losing customers easier than ever before. Number 4, I predict marketplaces will dominate again this year, and all retailers will need an evolving marketplace strategy going forward. And number 5, I predict mobile commerce on phones and tablets will continue to grow in adoption and importance. But for the foreseeable future, big winners will do so through apps and not through their primary website. Expect this shift to be even more prevalent in the coming years as voice commerce and social commerce adoption grows, and will likely be driven by mobile and IoT devices. I hope you found this helpful, and if you'd like more information about our company, frictionless commerce, data management, or supply chain, come visit us at pivotree.com.